Hey, everybody. Glad to see y'all here tonight. Welcome to another episode of Dirt Road Salvation. Today, we got a really interesting topic. I've been getting this question a lot. Is it a good time to buy or lease a truck? We're going to talk about the fuel prices, what the national averages are. We're going to talk about um, what the market's kind of doing a little bit. And we're going to go over some truck prices and we're going to see how outrageous they are because we all know right now that the cost of equipment is up through the roof for anything worth its salt. So, anyway, if you're catching this on the repeat, tell us, drop a comment down below and hit that like button and tell us what's your 20 tonight? Where are you watching us from? So, without further ado, I got some guests with me tonight. I'm gonna bring on. I got one buddy of mine who I've known for a couple years now. He's currently he's working for a company right now, and he's contemplating getting a truck. And then we're gonna bring back another one of our guests from a previous live stream, who came from the company side where I was at, and now he has his truck. So I'm gonna bring these guys on. We'll introduce them. They'll say hi, speak their piece, and y'all be nice or not. Let's have some fun tonight. So drop a comment below if you got any questions. And without further ado, I'm gonna bring everybody in here. All right, hey everybody. Everybody, this is Brandon here with the Raw Trucking YouTube channel. And right, Hunter down here, Mr. New Hampshire Lone Wolf. So, and looky here, we got I Rhyme with Stick. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Man, that avatar on that's I think that's a sick looking clown, dude. I would hate to see that thing in the middle of the evening. But you're up in the I know. So you're up there at the South Holland yard. Hey, have they fixed any of them potholes up there? Because that yard's kind of rough getting in and out of, buddy. So,
oh man,
all right, Raw Trucking, you go first, buddy. Give us a little introduction. Tell us what you're doing and what your future aspirations are.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Brandon. I run the Raw Trucking YouTube channel. I've been driving trucks for about 6 years, and when I was in CDL school, it was my goal to end up in my own truck at some point in time. And within the past 2-3 years, I've been trying to get to that point, but it seems like every time I try and get to it, I always hit some kind of roadblock somewhere. So I'm still struggling, but I haven't given up the hope yet. As you know, I met New Hampshire Lone Wolf at USA Trucks orientation, and I met you through him. I have my own little story behind my time at USA Truck, but I went there with a goal, but it didn't really work out for me. But it seems to have worked out good for you, and hopefully it'll work out good for Hunter. But yeah, I'm still going down the road trying to figure this journey out.
I got you, buddy. I absolutely hear you on that one. But hey, see, that's the one interesting thing with with trucking, though. There are a million different ways for us all to either end up in the same place or to be able to go in a different direction. You know, that's the wondrous thing about this industry is there's so many different avenues that we can take. You know.
Yeah.
So
there really are a lot of different avenues. It's just finding the one that works for you. And it's a homework process.
Yep. All right, so Mr. Hunter there with the New Hampshire Lone Wolf, go ahead and give us a brief introduction. Tell everybody what you're about, and tell us how much you love that brand new Volvo of yours. And has that what's the cost per mile to run that truck?
The past few weeks, cost per mile on this truck has been ridiculous. Mostly because I've been in the wrong area.
Dude, I'm telling you, being in the wrong area will make or break your oh man. I about cried. I came over
for 2 weeks.
And I came over out of out of Beckley and saw $6 a gallon on the other side of Beckley. I was not happy.
Yeah, and I've been running that for 2
So
weeks.
Are you at least
that
running
sucks.
the computer program that I told you about, Hunter?
I don't have a computer right now, so no.
Oh, I'm running. So okay, since we're talking about fuel, all right, let's get this in here, y'all. So, as it sits right now, the U.S. national price for diesel right now is $5.70 and a gallon. Um, that is up $2.42 from a year ago, and it's up from 539, or excuse me, 553 the week prior, and the week prior to that it was 557. In California, the national average, or the average just for California, the fuel in California is so high they got their own little thing. So California is $6.83 a gallon, astronomically overpriced, up from two
Say that
dollars
one
and
more
seventy
time.
six cents. What's that?
Say that price one more time.
$6.83 a gallon. I'll make this a little bit bigger for you. Yeah,
And
right
you,
here, 683.
everybody watching needs to keep it in their head that that is the average in the state of California. In some
Yeah.
areas of California, it's higher than that.
Oh yeah.
That's
California.
crazy.
So look at. So this brings us up to our first question here. Is um, well, I got actually two questions back to back here. We'll address the first one here. Do y'all think that this is going to be drug out for the long haul, or do you think that they're going to figure out some way to bring this back down? Um, Personally, I'm predicting that it's going to be up for a little while. Let's see. Hold on. This guy, see, I rhyme with stick. He says, I remember not long ago, PA and New York were higher than California. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it ain't like that much anymore. But Um, yeah. So, do y'all think this is going to go and be drug out for the long haul? Um, I don't foresee this going away anytime soon. From what I'm seeing, we're going like boom right down the crapper, head first into a recession, and it's going to get way worse before it gets better. And the what I'm predicting going forward is we're really, 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 as far as those of us who have our own trucks and are leased onto carriers or have our own authority, it's really going to show those of us who have the intestinal fortitude to be able to push through these hard times. And it's really going to weed out the men from the boys. And, we're really going to have to stick together as a whole to get through this, I do believe. You're going to see a lot of people who set themselves up in that really, really high market and got these $3,000 a month truck payments. I'm sorry, four. I'm sorry, $3,000 to $4,000 a month truck payments, and didn't set themselves up to be able to run in a down market. And I really think that it's going to really show who's really got this, and those of us who don't have it figured out are going to need the resources and people to lean on to be able to get through this.
Well, as you know, an election is about to come up. So,
Oh boy.
depending on how that goes, maybe it could be fixed sooner rather than later. And that depends on either side. Uh, as far as how long, I don't know. I've got my own theories about what's going on behind the scenes with everything.
I
If
mean,
I
we
was,
can speculate, but that don't mean
yeah,
that we
speculation is
speculate.
one thing.
Yeah.
If I was to make my best educated guess about it, I would say probably another year and a half before we start to see really any change.
Right. I can agree with that. I mean, it's not going to change this year. It's not going to change with midterms, and
No, it's not.
depending on, depending on who gets seated where, if people don't call their congressmen and they don't read people's things or histories and voting histories, I mean, you know, you might be in trouble. But I mean, I don't. There's a lot of factors into it. It's not just all politics, but there's a lot of world factors that go into all of this. But it's definitely something. So, um,
Be great
you
if we
being a
could get back
company,
to our energy independence like we used to be.
mhm, absolutely, I completely agree. Um, but that's like I said, there's people
If
that
it goes
know
there,
way.
that's the thing.
Yeah, there's people in those positions who know more than I do. So I'm not one of those. I'm
And
not
we're,
in
we're
that
just
field, so
dumb
I
truck
probably should.
drivers. What do we know?
Yeah, exactly. We're just the people that move the stuff.
Yeah, we're just dirty old truck
Let's
drivers.
let's see. We got to. I rhyme with stick here. He says honestly, I don't see it getting any better for the next 3 to 5 years. Um, yeah, buddy, I'm right there in the same book with you. I really don't because look how long back in 2008. Look how long it took us to try to come back up out of that recession when the housing
That's the
market
point.
popped. Um, and then before that you had the .com boom, and we're getting into stuff that's like way before I was born. But if you look at the patterns of history, it takes a while to come back out of these things. You go into them real quick; they don't just happen overnight, but it takes a long time to climb out of them. And really, I think with as much as everything has been inflated and as much money has been pumped into the economy and people not wanting to work and all this extra free money people were getting, I think the recession in the long term is going to be a good thing because it's going to stabilize and even everything out, and it's going to stop this constant uprise and then drop and then up and then drop. But I think on the
When
other
you
side
fall
of this,
into
when
a
this whole
hole,
thing's over,
you fall fast. But it takes time to climb back out. Now, how long
especially if you ain't got a shovel.
especially if you ain't got a shovel. But
Yeah, not that I know
depending
that from
on how
experience
deep
or
that
anything.
hole goes and how willing you are to get out of it. I mean, you know, a lot of these people are running off of the spot market, and that's gone into the crapper as well. So, and you got to also remember, fuel is also a part of this. It can be a part of the spot market. Um, you got a bunch of tanker drivers that haul oil around and gasoline and stuff like that. So even the price of fuel getting to the fuel station is affected.
Hmm. Well, I mean, with the way everything's going, with the cost of fuel going up, those of us who are have direct customer relations or are in an incubated system where we have customer contract freight that has a really good fuel surcharge on it,
Yeah,
we're we're passing the buck for the cost of fuel back to the customer, which in turn goes from the customer that we're moving freight for to their customers at the store level. So it's a lot of compounding things, and until things start evening out and we start weeding this market out, um, the price of everything is going to continue to go up. Um,
yeah.
let's look here. That's the wrong one. Heavy duty truck prices. Okay, where are we at here? Let's see. So yeah, like right here, they in truck papers they have a 2018 Peterbilt 579 conventional truck with sleeper, and it's a mid roof at that. Looks like it's an XTMC fleet truck. Got a Cummins motor in it, 500 horsepower, manual transmission, with 490,000 miles, and they're asking $115,000. I don't know about y'all, but I think that is absolutely ridiculous. Truck
Well, you got to
prices,
remember when SARS-CoV-2 hit the entire world like it did, and like you said, everybody was getting out of work, and there was a bunch of money going around keeping people out of work.
right?
We also had the whole world shut down. Plants shut down, cargo ships shut down, ports shut down. Prices, not only prices, but parts for these trucks were hard to find. They went scarce really fast,
Mhm.
and to a degree, they're still scarce. And
So,
we really haven't climbed out of that yet. I mean, the price of trucks has just skyrocketed, and
dude,
I
look,
think that's what scares me the most, because I think the fuel will come down quicker than the price of these trucks.
right?
And you got to also remember, these trucks are like 5-6 years old. You know, they're about due for an M frame, and you're paying over $100,000 for a truck that very soon will need major work.
Right. Well, look at the brand new truck prices. 2023 Freightliner Cascadia, for sale price, $225,000, and that's a basic bare model fleet truck. They ain't even got an ounce of chrome on it, and the only thing
Yeah,
is
don't
nice it's
remind
got
me.
on it's the aluminum rim. I mean, like, dude, what was that? 2019 brand new Freightliner that looked exactly like this, $150,000. Down here, 2017 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution, almost 700,000 miles on it, $71,000.
That's a
That's
$40,000
ridiculous.
truck.
No, that's a $30,000 truck with with almost 700,000 miles on it. That ain't no $71,000 truck. You know,
I got mine at the perfect time.
a 200, yeah, 2021 Freightliner Cascadia with 147,000 miles on it. That should be about a $170,000 truck. They got it marked for 205. Now you can get these pre-emission trucks that have got almost 1,000,000 miles on them all day long for 12,500. I mean, pick it up for 12,000 bucks, 30 grand, do an in frame on the motor. I mean,
I say
hey,
that's what I want.
yeah, you're in $40,000 and you got a brand new motor in that truck. You know,
And they run better.
it's yeah. I mean, that's like, with with my truck, I have a 2017 Kenworth T680. When I got it, it had 335,000 miles on it. I got it for 80 grand. That's the whole truck. You know, I mean, yeah, it's a little high, but it's not like for middle of COVID. That was a good price on a truck. Uh, let's see.
Try to
I
find that
rhyme
price
with
these
stick.
days.
Truck prices went up approximately 20%. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, it's see, and that's the thing that I worry about with people who, talking about. I mean, do you think it's a good time to buy or lease a truck? Um,
Not right
it
now. I
depends
mean,
on it.
I can tell you, SFI right now to get into to get a brand new truck with them, you're looking at 15,000 down, and you're waiting about 10 months. And the
See
cost
where
of
I
that
got.
price is well up into the $200,000 price range. Mine, I got on the list in November of last year. Cost me $6,500 to get on the list. Got my truck about 6.5 months later. Total cost of my truck, $177,100.
Wow.
Yep.
And see, just like you
So,
said, Joe,
all right, I'm gonna show y'all this.
just like you said,
Sorry, go ahead.
brand new trucks, for a brand new Freightliner, really before COVID hit, 150, 65, depending on what kind of package you got, that's what you would pay for one. And I got
Right.
screwed out of my SFI truck. I really wish that would have went through for me, but it was really no fault of my own or SFI's. That I was trying to get that truck, and apparently Freightliners are in such high demand, and
Right.
mine just kept getting pushed out and pushed out and pushed out, and then it wasn't available anymore. So when
See, hold up. I rhyme with Stick says he's with Tell and took a 21 Pete with 84,000 miles on it. Total is 138K. I mean, that's practically a brand new truck. That's not terribly bad. I mean,
I ride with
84,000
stick.
miles.
Is that a 579? I imagine it is.
Yeah, if it's with Tel, it's probably a 579 with either a PACCAR MX-13 or a Cummins ISX in it. Yeah, I rhyme with stick. Um, what's the details on that truck of yours? And are you happy with it? That's the important thing. Do you like your truck?
Well, the
So
good thing about his truck is that it's a Peterbilt, so it's got that
yeah,
sought after brand name. So his
I
truck
wish I
will
had the
hold
bunk that
value.
those Peterbilts had in.
Do what?
I said I wish I had the bunk in the top of those Peterbilt Ultra Lofts, dude. That half folding bunk.
Yeah, they
Oh
are
man, I
nice.
wouldn't have
I like
I
the
wouldn't
look
have
of
none of the clutter that I do. Everything would be up there hidden where none of y'all can see it. He says Raw got the raw end of the deal.
it. Man, you have no idea. At least I got my deposit back.
Yeah. So like where I got my truck from is Pro Lease. They are a business partner with Davis Transfer and USA Truck. $1,000 security deposit, and if you want to take the truck to another carrier, it's a $5,000 deposit. So at any point in time, I want to take this truck and go to Schneider, SFI, Mercer, F2F, insert truck name here. All I got to do is stroke him a check for $5,000, and I can take the truck wherever I want. But my costs are minimal. Weekly, so they got 2017 through 2019 Internationals and Cummins or T680s with Cummins ISX engines in them, with a 3 to 2 year lease on them, and they got their numbers mixed up here. That's not accurate. It's actually, unless they changed it, the lease payments are $550 a week and $200 for maintenance a week, which totals $750. It's not $950, unless they've changed that. So go away, Facebook. We don't like you. Eat that sucker bird. Anyway, so I mean, that's like I said, that's one thing where I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate, is because my truck note is cheaper than a lot of other people, and
I'll trade you.
no, only if I could keep my payment. Absolutely not otherwise. Let's see.
Oh no, I
rhyme
was
with
just talking
six.
about trading payments.
Oh no. He says it's a 579 with a Cummins ISX, and he also says he said I rhyme with sticks. He knows who you are. He says he was subbed to your channel when you left USA. He would just
He
unsub when he was
unsubbed when
gone for a while.
gone for a while.
Yeah. So
I don't post nearly as much as I want to, but I don't really always know what to talk about. So
not know what to talk about. Life's like a box of chocolates. That's all right, buddy. I gotta give you a hard time. But I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy time to be in trucking, because if if you lease a truck and you have a super high truck note, you got an extremely high amount of risk if you have a lot of home bills. So, but if you're on with a good carrier and you're getting a good cut and you're running good lanes, you can make it.
that's what I
But
run
if you're
into. My bills
like,
at
I would be.
home are like $2,000 a month. Which, if you break it down, it's not that much a week. Then you got to consider what we're going through now, with fuel prices being the way they are, and how much. You really got to take in all the factors of a truck that you're wanting to get, mileage, and if it needs work, and the year, resale value, stuff like that. If you're doing a lease purchase, your payments and everything. That's why it's very, very important before you do any kind of lease. If it's a lease purchase or just like a lease rental, then you have to know what you need per mile to pay your bills at home.
2020 Freightliner Coronado, $210,000. That's nuts.
Wow.
Let's see.
Eh,
I run
pays to
with
be in
I
my
rhyme with
boat.
stick. Man, I'm gonna start calling you Sticky because I'm gonna end up saying something I don't mean to say, trying to say I rhyme with stick. I'm gonna start calling you Sticky. But anyway, Sticky says kind of the situation I'm running into now with myself at the moment. I mean, yeah, buddy, everybody like it's rough all the way around right now. It really is. It's just you know the cost of food's up, the cost of fuel's up, rent's going up, mortgages or the interest rates on mortgages are going up. I mean, everything is going up, and nobody's making more money. Like we're all still making the same amount of money. Um, and what you were talking about earlier, um, there, Mister Raw Trucking. I'm gonna bring this back on the stage here. Um, So this is a FreightWaves article. It says over the past 4 days, the deterioration in truckload van spot rates has accelerated, falling another 2 pennies per mile or per day on FreightWaves National Truckload Index line haul only. Um, 7 day average in the past 7 days, van truckload spot rates have fallen another 11 or 0.011 a day and 0.007 a day in the prior 3 weeks. Says the acceleration of the decline is remarkable, especially considering the time of year when May and June are normally considered among the busiest time for truckload volumes, and the early summer months rival the holiday retail season in terms of peak spot rates. The phrase 100 days of summer is used in the trucking industry to describe the time of year when beverages, construction, and summer goods are surge. And this year, the market is doing the opposite. And let's see. And here's the kicker. This is the what I can't act. This is what drives me nuts. This is the decline coincides with the largest level of cost increase to ever hit the trucking industry. Inflation is roaring with maintenance equipment, insurance, and most importantly, fuel squeezing spot truckload carriers. And retail diesel is up 53 cents a gallon in the last 30 days. And so for carriers averaging 6.5 miles per gallon, this translates to a cost increase of 8 cents per mile. So, like my truck right now, um, it costs me 66 with my current MPGs that I get on average, both heavy, light, and empty, all average together. It takes 66 cents every mile to turn my wheels on my truck. So
That really is a scary thought.
right. So that being the case, that's why I haven't jumped ship and I've stayed where I'm at because one, I've got it figured out to how to run to be able to offset these fuel costs with the fuel surcharges. So basically, all I'm doing is I'm passing my cost of operation back to the customer, like I said earlier. So if my cost of operation to run the truck is 66 cents a mile just for fuel, and my fuel surcharge is 76 cents, that means I'm netting 10 cents a mile off my fuel surcharge. I'm making money off the fuel surcharge because I'm staying in this incubated system where we have customer freight. And I think that is going to be the big defining difference is the people that are running the spot market that are going to make it will have paid off equipment or really cheap equipment that's in good condition and low cost of living. Those of us who are a little bit higher on that on those lists, I believe those of us how we're going to make it is we're going to stay in these incubated systems where we have these fuel surcharges to supplement our income and offset the cost of diesel fuel. What do y'all think?
There's a guy back home where I live. He's a business owner. He's not in trucking anymore, but he used to be. And he told me that when fuel prices went up, that's when he made the most money in trucking. And that's purely because of fuel surcharge. So if you're somewhere that has customer contracted freight and you get a fuel surcharge off of that, then these times right now, everybody should be staying in that system because that's the only real way you're going to net even good money anymore. I don't have that luxury where I'm at. Then again, I'm not even leasing a truck. So,
So, what do you think, Hunter? You've been awfully quiet there in your little red room.
red light district.
Oh, what did you call it that?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Yeah, both of you.
Hold on. I got you, buddy. Watch this. Boom. There we go.
Fuel is
Let's
just
see.
a mess right now. It's going to be a mess for a while.
Sticky says that he's been running the general freight market himself. Try not to get into the spot market unless it's to get to a better area or to get home. Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm running it. The other thing is that like where we're
That's pretty much what we're all doing.
Yeah, like it's super competitive for the general freight right now, but all of us are trying to run for that. The nice thing is though, they're putting fuel surcharges on our brokerage freight now. So, I mean, some of them have looked really good. I saw one the other day.
I can tell you right now, the company that I'm with only runs the spot market, and I get to see the rate cons with every load I take, and they are complete crap. So,
yeah.
If you're just running the spot market, best of luck to you.
The only reason why this works out for me is I don't have any bills. I've only got my cell phone, dude. That's with a truck payment as high as mine. That's the only way it would work.
Yeah, I envy you for that. I'm gonna go sell my little single wide trailer and go build a cardboard box.
Hold on. How much you want for that trailer? How many bedrooms is it?
It's a 3-bedroom. It's brand new too. It's only 3 years old.
All right. I'll bring my truck up there. We'll get it hooked up, and I'll get the permits. And I'll take it right off your property.
$100,000.
Smoking crack.
Cost me almost near it. I'll pay more than that once I get it paid off.
Oh, buddy, you know what? I tell you what, I will just send you a little bottle of beeswax to get that shine going. That's what I do, and that shine eventually went away and turned into hair. So,
I've got my own hair treatment that I'm using.
Are you using that Keeps?
No, but I've thought about it. My son even told me that I should get into it.
I don't know. I keep seeing them all over the internet. Everyone's always talking about them. I tell you what, though.
Advertising.
Well, I tell you what.
Now, I'm pretty sure that I had COVID, and my mother-in-law.
Hold on. Well, hold on. Have or had?
Had.
Okay, Roger. Just making sure.
I'm doing too well not to have it right now.
I was about to whip out the flamethrower.
And my wife's best friend also had it as well. And everybody is now noticing that they're having clumps of hair falling out, including myself. Now, I know that I've been losing some hair, but I haven't had clumps of it coming out. But my mother-in-law has been using this stuff right here, and she's got hair follicles growing back. So I'm trying it. Hopefully it'll work. I'm trying to get.
Well, all I'm gonna say is when your hair comes back, we're gonna get you out in one of them Speedos, and we're gonna get a bunch of cameras. We're gonna shoot a music video to "I Whip My Hair Back and Forth," and you're gonna be the poster child.
I got a picture of back in my high school swim days I could send you.
No, I don't need that sent to me. I just want to put this all over we'll live stream it. It'll be okay. Let's see. He says, I had that crap 3 times and still got a full head of hair. I got you. Hey, buddy. Sticky, at least you got your hair.
You better knock on wood there, buddy.
He might still be young yet. That's okay. I started losing mine when I was, let's see, I started losing mine in my early 20s when I was in
Same
the
here.
Army. I, I,
I
I
haven't
had
started
so
losing
much
any hair.
stupidity to do that.
Why
Yeah,
don't
but
you
you're
just
just
brag
turning
about it,
into it.
honey?
He's just turning gray, that's all.
Yeah. I'm starting to find a
Hey,
few of
Sticky
those.
says he don't want to see you Speedo doing I whip my hair back and forth dance.
Oh, come on now. You don't want to see this. I'm trying
I
to
mean,
get
hey,
I'm trying to be a grizzly fabio.
I mean, listen, buddy, with you getting hurt and taking it up to chin with them spot market rates they keep booking where you're at, you you're gonna have to do some stripping to cover the bills, man. You got mouths to feed. There ain't no shame in that game.
Hey, now look,
Get you an OnlyFans.
camera's going nuts. All right.
We gotta get Raw Trucking over there and OnlyFans going on.
That's what I was about to say. There's
Let's
a
see.
thing. Y'all be quiet. I'm trying to talk now.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Anyway, there's a soundbite going around on social media.
Hold on. Sticky says we'll strip for Diesel. And he says he's probably older than all three of us or close to it. I just turned 30, so
Hey, I
you
think
might be.
Sticky's a good stripper name.
Ooh, we call him Sticky Buns. Dude, you are now Sticky Buns. We will do this.
So yeah, there's a soundbite going around on social media.
Buddy. I like to cut up.
There's a soundbite going around on social media that talks about, I'm about one bad day from quitting my job and selling pictures of my feet on the OnlyFans. And I know what that feels like. I'm almost
Buddy,
there.
y'all watch American Dad, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You remember the principal when in that episode where he lost his job and this old lady pulls up and she's like, "What'll $5 give me?" And she hands him the $5. He turns around and pulls his pants down. Then she gets super offended, and he goes, "Oh, you thought those were private prices? No, you got to pay more for that. That's going to be branded here in about 6 months."
Yeah. And that's not even the worst part, because I'm still trying to get over what's it called, athlete's foot. So them pictures are going to be
that's a
something
special.
to
We are going to get demonetized. This will never make it on the air. I can't keep this one up after this. That's called a specialty category. That's niching down to your content. You have a unique opportunity for a good market to pander to a very select special group of viewers.
Yeah. Hey, my wife's down for selling foot photos as well, so I might be able to retire from trucking early.
Yeah, foot pictures don't pay enough.
I don't know. She's got pretty feet. I never was a foot guy. So.
God no. Feet's just not my thing, man. That's gross. Let's say he says Sticky Bun says they're gonna send you a bill for this stream. Probably. I don't think I'm gonna keep this one up after this. This one might just have to go under the radar. I told these fools when we came on here to keep it PG, and here we are. It's no longer PG. We're pushing R-rated now.
Oh,
this is why I've been quiet.
Hey, you can go to the beach all day long and see real life free feet. I still think it's PG.
Nobody likes sandy feet. That's gross. Or muddy feet.
All right,
buddy. Okay, so
anything.
Speaking of terrible things that happen to feet, since we're on this topic, I got an old Army story for you. So years and years ago, we had this training exercise, we'll call it, where they wanted to do some recovery training, winch out some trucks, and yada yada yada.
I think
So-
I've heard this one.
Long story short, we get this Humvee that we're given the book. They tell us to take the Humvee out way back in the middle of nowhere, and we do. And we keep going and going, and we can't get the Humvee unstuck. Or, well, we can't get it stuck. It's just plowing through everything, even though we're fording water all the way up to the windows, coming up over the hood. But no, we're not really talking about feet no more. I thought we were talking about trucking. Yeah, we're getting off of that. This is kind of a trucking story. It was a Humvee, but anyway, we
We kind of went on a tangent there.
we also married a FM TV, but that's a different story. So we all get back there, and we took the Humvee so far back there, the wrecker couldn't get to it because it was too big, and the trail was too small. So the whole company, we had to push this armored Humvee back out of this swamp, like 2 miles up and down and through the holes. And buddy, I tell you what, when in the cartoons where you see where they take their boot off and they pour like gallons of water out of their boots, that is real, and that sucks. And it will never ever, those boots will never recover.
Maybe you shouldn't unplug the battery next time, Joe.
It was training. I didn't turn it off.
I will say this:
No, you disconnected the batteries.
Oh no! I just
told me this story.
I will say this with sticky though. I still think this is truck related. It's just we're talking about how badly trucking is getting for us right now.
Well, right now, okay. Here's how trucking's going. It's see, in the Army, we had an old saying, when things were going downhill, it was called getting the green weenie. Okay. Well, the green weenie is no longer a regular weenie. The green weenie now is about the size of the pole in the ground that the love size sits on, and you would consider the heart on the top the head, and it's going in with no lube, is what you would classify trucking right now. Those Hummers are the worst pieces of equipment. I agree wholeheartedly. I did not enjoy working on them. I worked on them a lot.
I just wanted the deuce and a half.
Yeah, everybody wants a deuce and a half. Insurance is $60 a year, and it'll run on oil, gasoline, diesel, and everything practically except for water.
Run on spit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. He says those Hummers are a wonderful piece of equipment. Okay. Sorry, buddy. I misunderstood what you said there. I didn't.
Learn how to read.
Apparently,
the military didn't teach you to read.
No, they taught me to shoot and fix things. That was about it. Reading was one of the subpar things. If you can't figure it out or read the book, call the manufacturer. Troubleshooting 101. Anyway.
As far as trucking goes, though, I'm still trying to remain hopeful that something good will happen for us soon. But I know that that's wishful thinking. Like I said, I've been in it for 6 years. Hunter's been in it just a little longer than me. I don't even know how long you've been in it, but I keep asking you how old you are, and you don't even remember your damn birthday.
I think if you ask my wife, I think she'll tell you I'm 30. Let's see.
Brandon, how old you are? How old are you, Brandon?
23. Yeah, 30.
I'm 30. I just turned 30 in January.
I'll be 32 this year.
Huh.
I'm going to let AARP know they're ready for you. They've been sending me stuff in the mail for years, and I'm offended.
The fact that you said that is hilarious, because when I got my mail from my brothers, my mom messed up hers and my mail, and I got her AARP card.
Here's a question for you, Joe, to get back on the trucking subject.
Roger.
With the price of fuel and everything going up, and I'm sure maintenance is also going up uh, as kind of an indirect thing with that. What
Buddy, maintenance
what
can suck
avenue
my way.
what avenues are
How's
you
that AC
taking?
clutch?
What avenues are you taking to help find the best prices possible?
Okay, so first off, the caveat with this is I have a very cheap cost of living. Secondly, when everything was paying very good last year when it was a heavy market, I took that money and reinvested it back in my company and built a mobile shop setup. So I bought tools, toolboxes, a truck, and everything I need to do my general maintenance on this. The only thing I'm missing right now is the really
So
heavy
you got two
expensive
trucks
stuff.
now, huh?
I have a pickup truck. It was my dad's, but anyway, that's what I'm using for a service truck now, um, as well as a. Well, that's a different story. So,
Are you using
um,
anything to help you find like the cheapest fuel possible?
oh, okay. I thought we were talking maintenance. I was still on that topic. We'll get to. Yes, I am in a set, but kind of, sort of. Um, so maintenance wise, since the cost of everything has gone up and there is a huge parts shortage, I'm living by the moniker: if you can't afford two, don't buy one. And basically, what that means is if you know you're going to need a part, you better buy two of them in case you're going to need them. So I'm buying things in bulk. I've ordered a 55-gallon drum of oil. I've bought my extra filters. I'm looking for a decent priced 55-gallon drum of coolant. Um, I've got 5-gallon
You should have came
buckets.
to me for that.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about that. I've got 5-gallon buckets of the hub oil, things of that nature. Um, what I've found is the maintenance stuff that I can do myself, like oil changes, for example. I bought a 55-gallon drum of oil, a 1540 premium fleet oil, and cost me $548 for that 55-gallon drum of oil, which is really cheap. It was a really good deal. I couldn't pass it up for synthetic oil for what my truck
It's
calls
also
for.
good
The
to buy, and like you said, when you buy in bulk, that usually gives you a good discount.
Right. So, like I said, it's a 1540 premium fleet 1540 oil API certification CK4, which is what my engine calls for. So, research your make, model, engine. Make sure you're buying the proper oil that you need that has all the proper additives. But anyway, with that being the case, by buying that 55-gallon drum of oil at that price, it was $9 a gallon for the oil. So, with that being the case, and factoring in the fact I buy bulk grease, I buy bulk filters, I buy bulk oil, my PM service, doing it myself, is only $287 versus $350 to have our shop at USA do it, or $500 to $700 to have Loves or Speedco do it, and like $750 to have Kenworth do it. So you can look at it like that. I'm saving between, you know, $150 to $500 just in doing my own oil changes and my own, maintenance. I mean, there's stuff I can't do because I don't have a forklift, but if I need a forklift or I'm doing a head job, I'm going to send it off somewhere where I can get a warranty on it. But
That's something that's
brakes.
very important that people need to realize when
Mhm.
when you get to the point where you want to like lease purchase a truck or buy your own truck, you cannot be lazy with doing what needs to be done with it.
Oh yeah. So oil change intervals. Me and Hunter argue about this all the time. Not that either one of us is wrong, because Volvo says to do it that way. I don't agree with it having the mechanical background I do, but that's whatever. That's his truck, his thing. For me, my manufacturer warranty specifically states for light duty use 40,000 miles for medium duty use, 30,000 miles, and for heavy duty use, 20,000 miles minimum.
What's the difference between that?
They don't define it. That's the thing. It just says heavy, light, and medium duty use. Okay, well that's crap. Okay, what it is. It's just a bunch of legal jargon for warranty crap and however they wrote it out. Okay, after I don't care what oil I use. After 15,000 to 20,000 miles, my fuel economy drops 1 to 1.5 miles per gallon minimum, if not more, because the it's just not running as efficient. It's not. I mean, it's not that it doesn't have lubricity there. It's just not the same quality. So why, knowing that my performance is deteriorating after 20,000 miles, why would I extend that out to 50,000 miles when it makes more sense and will help keep the engine cleaner, because these motors are specifically ran to recirculate the exhaust gases, and they're designed for carbon packing, which is what causes them to pop prematurely. So for me, a 50,000 mile interval oil change is heretical, or not. What's the word I'm looking for? Heresy. That's sacrilege. It's not cool. But that's just from my standpoint, which, I spend more on fuel or more on oil and oil changes, but I'm going to get ideally, I'm going to get an additional, I'll probably, if I do good maintenance on this truck, get 1.2, 1.3 million miles out of it before I need an end frame. Whereas someone who runs over their oil intervals is going to probably have a premature detonation in there about 600 to 650, 700,000 miles, which that's so. Hold on, let's see. We got a new guy here. I can't pronounce that. We're gonna call you Sir Squid. You're Sir Squid. Do you guys use any fleet cards? Props, by the way. Props for what, buddy? Sir Squid. Zircom. Okay, Zircom. That's what we'll call you. That's fine. Fleet cards. Yes and no. It depends on where I get my best discount. Right now, our fleet card has, where we're leased onto, has a 25 cents off per gallon. And right now, that's better than my RTS Titan fuel card, which gives me 12 cents off at Pilot and Flying J. And then my TCS card, depending on the area I'm in, is hit and miss on whether I use that one. Sometimes it just depends on what it gives me for a fleet card. I highly recommend getting a fleet fuel card just if you can get 60, 70 cents off.
Fleet cards are definitely something that everybody in owning or leasing trucks definitely look into, because if your company card is going to give you a discount regardless, but if you have your own and you're in a better area for that particular card that you get, it's all about profitability.
Right. So have you guys factored with a company before? No, I have not. I'm leased onto a carrier. I do not have my own authority, and I am not running the open spot market as we speak. In the future, I would, when things get better, I would like to adventure out onto the spot market with my own authority, and at that point, I would consider one. But as it stands currently, no, I do not have a factoring company that I do business with. I'm leased to a carrier, and I pick and choose my freight, and we settle out every week.
I think I'm the only one in here that has their own authority. Before COVID,
yours is dormant, though.
Do what?
I said yours is dormant, though, ain't it?
It is, and that's all because of COVID. Because when COVID hit, everything went to crap, and I was no longer able to buy a truck and a trailer when things were good. So COVID hit, the market tanked, rates went up, and I got screwed out of getting the truck and trailer. I had everything that I needed I had fuel cards, insurance, authority. I had a factoring company set up. I also had a personal dispatcher set up, and I got all my stuff done through Motor Carrier HQ, and they're awesome. They got the owner of the company has their own podcast, Hauling Asset Trucking or Hauling Asset Podcast, and it basically goes over everything that you need to know when getting your own authority and um, how to buy a truck, uh, things to look out for maintenance. It's a great teaching tool.
Right.
But Motor Carrier HQ also has a factoring
Good
company,
rear.
really, really good price rate. And that's who I use. If I ever do get my authority reinstated, I'll probably end up going that route back to them. So I didn't read hardly any of what he said.
Um, uh, so he says it's hard for the little guy. He has his
Yeah,
own authority, um, and that he just started with CHF Robinson, or not just started, but he's trying to with outside of his own connections. So if I understand you correctly, that means so you've got your own authority, you have some customers, and you're trying to supplement with CH Robinson from the load board. Um, yeah, buddy, if you're running the spot market, I feel for you right now because it scares me, and I'm not even on it right now. I'm kind of I'm in an incubated system where we have customer freight. So, um,
spot market right now is if you're only running spot market, you're not leased on with a company that has, as like you and Hunter do, contracted freight and stuff like that. You'll make it, but you're gonna scrape by.
well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any authority to really speak on the spot market other than what I pull from like freight waves and DAT and things of that nature, and what I can see when I log into the DAT stuff because I've got the free trial there. But I don't know. It's let's see. Oh, he's into running. He says he's into running hazmat. Buddy,
I
more
won't.
power to you with that one. That I used to work with that stuff when I was back before I was driving a truck and I was working with the railroad. We used to haul a lot of hazmat there. No, I have no desire to work with hazmat anymore after that.
I'm willing to get mine. I've got everything but hazmat, but the only thing I do not want to haul is anything radioactive.
Well,
I heard
I
some
hope.
stuff.
So that is a very good thing that to be brought up. You're worried about being scammed on the load board.
I got through today.
There is a new scam going out right now that I heard about. I was watching. I think it was DIY Semi. He had a video. This guy had go check out his channel at the DIY Semi. It'll be on there. But he basically the TLDR is the guy booked a load and hauled it, and it was they called and said they were with DHL, but they weren't. They bought the load from DHL and double brokered it, and then sold it to this guy and ran it, and then took off and cut ties. And they're actively going after that brokerage. So, yeah.
My company booked me a load yesterday around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and this is how bad the spot market is right now. They booked this load 4.5 hours away from where I was parked doing a 10-hour break. I was in near Petersburg, Virginia, and had to go up to New Jersey to pick it up. I got up to the shipper at around 1 o'clock in the morning. They did not open until 9. So I had to do another 10-hour break because I only had 8 hours and 14 minutes left on my 14. So I get up, I go check in, and it was I'd pick up 2 loads from the same place, and then I had 2 deliveries, one in Indiana, one in Michigan. About 12 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around, so I'd been sitting around for about an hour, and the shipper calls me, and they're like, somebody else has come in to pick up this load. We need you to call your dispatcher or whoever to get it figured out. So I call up my dispatcher, let them know what's going on, or weekend dispatch. And about maybe an hour later, he told me we're off the load. But here's where it gets funny. He says, we're off the load. I said, all right, I'm going back to Virginia to park because Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania have no idling laws. And I have no APU. So I'm on my way back to Virginia. I've been driving for about an hour. The shipper calls me up. And she says, how do you want this loaded on your trailer? I was like, wait a minute. I was just told that we've been pulled off this load. And she says, oh, well, okay, then I'll go get the other driver. And then I had to call my weekend dispatch, and I had to ask him, did I hear you correct? Did we get pulled off of this load? And he went to double check, and he said, the load going to Indiana and Michigan, right? And I said, yeah. He said, yeah, we've been pulled off of it. So there's a lot of miscommunication with brokers and double booking and stuff like that scares me, because I've heard a lot of stories about double brokering. And
So
if you get caught into enough of that, that can really make you or break you.
Mm-hmm. So I just pulled up my DAT stuff here, and I wanted you to look at this whole thing. This is the freight volume for van national load counts in and out as of 10 p.m. If you look here, I'll zoom this in if I can. Nope, it ain't gonna let me. So over here is your state, your trucks coming in and trucks going out. Alabama has 19 coming in, 10 going out. Arizona, 37 trucks coming in, 476 loads going out. Arizona is the place to be right now. Arkansas, 8 coming in, 18 going out. California, which this is completely backwards, 414 loads going into California, 332 coming out. Absolutely, that's completely backwards. Colorado's got 30 trucks coming in, 24 going out. Connecticut, 11 trucks coming in, 0 going out.
Is that like
Delaware? 5.
How do they calculate that?
So this is based off of DAT's data from their loads. So this is the DAT Trucker's Edge, and this is the freight volume. So this way, it's one of the tools from Trucker's Edge to help you book freight, to show where to position your truck and to bounce around.
What's state does it look like?
I will get down there in a minute.
Based off of what you're seeing right now, and from what I've heard people say that out in the West is where it's at right now. Is that what can that be confirmed with what you're saying?
With what I'm seeing, Arizona is okay. That Arizona's only got 37 trucks coming in and 476 loads going out. Idaho, 17 in, 3 out. Nevada, 17 in, 73 out. New Mexico, 10 in, 16 out. Oregon, 48 in, only 8 loads coming out. So you're going to base it just, nah. Washington, 76 loads coming in, 12 loads going out. Nah. The West Coast I wouldn't go any further than there. I'd go take a load to Arizona on the spot market and then go back. So, West Coast is probably where it's at right now for refrigerated, I would assume, because it's coming up on harvest season, or not harvest season, but it's coming up where they're going to start moving produce out of the warehouses. But
I'm hoping
Texas,
that'll.
Hunter, you were asking.
because I'm running reefer.
Yeah, Texas has 162 going in and 217 going out. So
Texas always seems to be pretty good.
let's see what we have.
Yeah, you need to
for
stay around Texas with that truck payment.
reefer. Yeah, it's still down for reefer out on the West Coast too, and it's
Wow.
even worse. Michigan 28 to 15, Maine 1-4, Maryland 9-4, Louisiana 11 in 2 out, Kentucky 6 in 1 out, Nevada 7 in 10 out, New Hampshire 2 in 0 out. Yeah, reefer's sucking right now. Wow.
Oh, I know. I'm feeling it.
So
I don't know why my company's trying to keep me up in the Northeast with what that's saying.
yeah.
Then again, I don't know what load boards my company's using. So.
Yeah. I don't know. And then you could. This is their board. How you get in here, look at stuff. So, you know, it's a good tool. There's a lot of stuff on that DAT that is worth looking at. So, I don't know. So any other questions? You were talking earlier there, Mister Brandon, about you were asking me something about fuel. What were you asking me about?
Like, are you using any kind of like applications to help you find the cheapest fuel, like on your route and stuff like that?
Fuel book.
Yeah, Fuel Book is one.
I've been hearing a lot about Fuel Book, and I can't remember what the other one's called.
Probably Mud Flap.
Mud Flat, yeah.
Well, Mud Flap is for purchasing fuel. That's different. Let's see if I can pull up. Excuse me. How rude. Let me see here. I think I have Fuel Book on here. I do. Let's see if I can get this to open up. He says, let's talk TA truck stops. Yeah. And yeah, that's we don't we don't play with we're not getting into that stuff there, buddy. So let's see. Share screen. There we go. This is Fuel Book. Okay. You come up here, power search, hit your route. Let's go destination, current area. Let's go with Columbus, Ohio. And destination. Where should we go? Pick a place.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere in Texas.
All right, Dallas, Texas. So what you do is there, and then you can. So if you want to look at mom and pops, you can do this, or if you're bound by a certain creditor that you have a card with, you can do like Love's 19, Pilot Express, Pilot Flying J, TA Petro, and then you hit power search, and then it shows you a route, and then it brings you in on your cheapest fuel. So then you basically can get a list. This is where I would be buying fuel right now. The 19 Easy Trip, number 1293, $4.99 a gallon. That's actually the same fuel price it was the last time I was down there. That's where I filled up on my way up to Virginia last time. So, and then you can show it less IFTA, or basically it takes out the fuel tax cost, and so that way you're able to calculate your fuel accordingly. So it'll show you what it is without the tax. So the 19 is $4.79 without tax, and then that it helps you be able to buy fuel, so that way you can calculate for your IFTA. So, but that's pretty much just how that works, and you can completely You can wipe this all out, power search, and then you can look at little mom and pops. And at your mom and pops, I mean, still, your cheapest fuel right now, number one, is that 1.9 for price. And Les Ifta is that 1.9 right there in Garland, Texas. So if you're anywhere around Garland, Texas right now, and this weekend, go fill up there. $4.99 a gallon. So, oh. All right. So, Mr. Hunter, is there anything else to throw in? You've been awfully quiet this evening.
Oh, you told me to keep it PG, so I figured I'd just bite my tongue right off.
Well, we're trying to keep it PG. Rather unsuccessful, though. No, we're not talking about that. I've already told you. So, I don't know. Where do you guys foresee everything going in the future? And what are your future endeavors and plans?
Well, I recently did a YouTube video that is titled, I believe, Unpredictable Future or something like that. Pretty much where I stand is that I'm just sick and tired of driving trucks, period. I love trucks. I love going out and driving, but I'm so sick and tired of the industry. But that's a bittersweet statement because I still want to own my own truck. So I don't know. You can't really go anywhere else and make this money for what we make. And
you can, but you're going to be absolutely miserable.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm probably going to stick with it and still try and find a way to get into my own truck one way or another.
You know what? You should start training people. I think you'd be a great mentor.
Training? I thought about it.
I don't want no part of it. I have enough trouble just getting along with me and Tank in this small space, let alone a stranger. So, do either of y'all have any experience with training newbies?
Nope.
I did it one time. That was when I was at FedEx Ground.
Okay.
I don't even think this guy had any trucking experience at all, but it was pretty cool. But I trained him. I trained him how I like to do things when I'm over at FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, how to run the best way and make the most money. And most of my driving experience comes from FedEx. I really knew how to milk FedEx really good. But
do you miss running those wiggle wagons?
Sometimes.
I get really, every time I pass a FedEx driver, it almost seems like they're trying to wiggle their way into my lane.
I miss it for the main reason because it was so easy to make that rear trailer wiggle, and I could just scare all those camping four-wheelers away from me.
Right.
And the only way I can do that now is just by riding on the zipper line. But
right.
I don't know. Training, with the way that these kids are these days coming into the industry, and now the law was passed that 18-year-olds can go over the road.
Dude, that's scary. I remember when I was like 18.
Yeah, I remember how I was at 18. I knew every damn thing. But I don't know. Like, I'm willing to train my son and my son's best friend, but I don't know if I'd be willing to train just everybody. But that's the good thing about training. You don't have to train that specific person. I forget who the guy was that was on YouTube, but one video he made that went viral was when he kicked off a student out of his truck.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know.
Yeah. But I would do the same thing. If you rub me the wrong way in my truck that I'm letting you be in, I'll kick you out like a pissed off ex-girlfriend.
So, okay, let me ask you this question. Would you be willing to train somebody in a truck that you're on the hook for either a lease or a truck payment?
Probably not.
Yeah, me either. Absolutely not. You want to give me a company truck? Yeah, we'll play ball with them. Nah.
Yeah. And I think that goes up if it's my own truck and it's a manual.
Absolutely not.
No.
Sorry, kiddo. Not today.
Now, I've met quite a few truck drivers that want to open up their own trucking school.
See, that's
You know,
one thing I thought. See, once I get closer to where I don't no longer need to do this, I really have been thinking that would be my exit strategy is to go teach at a truck driving school at my
there's
local community college. I think honestly that's what I'm planning is to have my exit strategy from the trucking industry.
now the guy that I was driving with, who I came to this company with, he got an offer because his wife is in community college learning English, and somebody, I think, whoever the if they call him the dean or the principal or whoever the head guy at that community college is, he came up to him and said, "We're going to be starting a trucking program soon. We want you to, come in and be a part of it." But I ain't heard anything else out of it. Now, the trucking school that I graduated from is right out of Asheboro, North Carolina, called Future Truckers of America. And they're only 30 minutes from me. I could go do that if I wanted to. I could also open up my own school. I've thought about it, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Let's see. I'm looking at their salaries right now. Truck driver instructor, 57,000 to 62,000 a year, full time day shift. So I don't know.
It's not a bad retirement plan.
No, I don't know. It'd be really. You're just gonna make out with my elbow? Is that what we're doing right now? Stop licking my weenus. Oh, cool. Sorry, I got
He's
distracted.
looking at you like, what are you going to do about it?
I don't know. Yeah, he's not spoiled or nothing. But anyway, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good exit strategy. You run out here, have your fun for a couple of years, and once it's time to slow down, just go, work as a driving instructor.
Now, I remember when I was in trucking school, they loved to give you hell.
I actually
You would be
day
great.
one, I actually almost got. Actually, day one, I was about thrown out of trucking school.
Why am I not surprised?
So what had happened? So I had already been driving big trucks in the Army for several years. Okay, air brakes, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I'd just been doing it. So it wasn't nothing new to me to get in one of these and start doing it. It was incredibly easy, and the people at that particular trucking school were just so incredibly rude and condescending. Like they were just evil toward everyone. And I had had enough of it. And the particular female who was ragging on everybody and being what's the proper word to use here?
A real big meanie.
Yeah, let's go with that. To everybody, she had finally, just broke down and was yelling at everybody in the hallway. And I was like, "Why didn't you tell me this or that?" And I was like, "Probably because you're talking down to everybody and you're being incredibly rude is why nobody wants to help you. The fact that you screwed up is your own problem, not ours." And then she spouted off some other nonsense, and then they pulled me to the side, and we had a nice long conversation. Basically, I told him, I said, well, go ahead, throw me out. I was looking for a job when I found this one. You guys suck anyway. And once we had that conversation and they realized I wasn't going to play ball with them or be bullied by them, that was all they wrote. They left me alone for the rest of the time. The actual instructors that weren't the admin people were super cool, though. Like the actual CDL instructors, I got along with all of them. So
pretty much the whole staff in my school was great. I love the instructor. Now, there's one thing by talking down and bullying somebody, and there's another when you're just picking on them. Right?
Yeah, there's a very defined difference.
Yeah, they love to yank on your chain. You know, all the instructors over there did it, but they didn't cross that line. So if they were picking on you, you could laugh back at it. That's what I loved about it. They were just down home, you know, good old boys.
Right. So, Mr. Hunter, speaking of truck training schools and being on a trainer's truck, you got any good stories to tell?
I'll tell you that right now.
You got a whole hour?
Come on, Mr. Red Room. I'm off for the next 2 days. I'm on a 34.
Me too.
We might do another one tomorrow.
And I don't even need a 34 for another 35 hours.
All right, well,
come on, Mr. Red Room.
And the people there were great. And my trainer was great for the first 3 days. And then he realized I had no self-esteem. And he took advantage of that for the next 8 freaking months.
Wait, you were on his truck for 8 months?
Yeah, I would have been fine in my own truck after 4 months, but no. I had my whole self-esteem issues.
Hold on. Let me preface this here real quick. When I went to trucking school, I was there for 1 week, and the second week tested out, had my CDL at the trucking school. I went from there to my carrier with a mentor, and I was only on their truck for 2 weeks, and then was in my own truck by myself, and I've been solo ever since.
Look at you.
I think my school
like about a month. Nah, dude. Second week, I was tested out and had my CDL in my hand.
Let's see.
But I had, like I said,
I had my CDL in my hand.
Prior to that.
Month and a half, I had my CDL in my hand. The rest of that was him milking the fact that I had low self-esteem and milking the money for training. And getting 3 miles because we were teaming.
So let me ask you this question. So since you went to the Prime Inc. Driving Academy of slow trucks and no blow and no fun, where it's just slow rolling, are you adapting the principles that you were taught in the early years of your trucking career for fuel economy into your current business model, or do you just not care?
No.
Honestly, be real with me. Be for real.
I'm pretty much adapting what their lease drivers do. Their maximum speed is 65.
Ouch.
And that's what I've been driving.
I saw on the Trucker Coach TV YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I saw his review about Arter. He's like, when I'm loaded, I go 57. You go 57 all you want to. I ain't getting rear-ended.
I mean, I'll do 58 and a 60.
Well, yeah, if speed calls for it, you go a little under it.
Yeah,
keep your miles per gallon
65
up.
And a 70,
But he was talking
my
about
my truck's funny.
He was talking about depending on the weight that's in his box, is the speed he'll go, which to that point I understand. But to go the entire trip at that rate, I don't see how that works.
There's tons of people out here that do it. I mean, I pass them all the time. I don't know. My truck's funny. I don't know what the deal with mine is. I get the same. The way my truck is geared. Um, I get the same fuel economy between 65 and 70, and between 58 and 50, or between 58 and 65, I get the same fuel economy, and we're talking 1 mile per gallon difference. And I'm
Wow.
getting 7 to 7.5 average at 70. So, I mean, if I cook it back down, like I said, if I cook it back down to like 62, I'll get like 8.5. But I can't. I booked myself too tight to be able to run that slow. Like
Now,
I'm
if there's
booking
anything
next
that I've
day
learned,
straight through stuff, huh?
if there's anything that I've learned, and this can be applied for anybody who's looking to buy their own truck, or depending on what company offers you a truck for a lease purchase, I have noticed that with all the Freightliners that I've driven, their MPG sucks. When you go to
Well,
something like a Kenworth T680 or a Volvo VNL 760 or 8, what is it, Hunter? An 870?
For what? What I have, I got an 860.
Yeah, a 760 or an 860. Their fuel economy is a lot better.
Oh
Like
yeah.
right now, I drove 4 hours this morning to New Jersey and then 4 hours back. Both times were empty. My miles per gallon on my truck says 5.9, and it hasn't changed.
I'll give you a
dude,
good
I
one.
get like
The best week.
okay,
The best.
I get 6.5 miles per gallon running the turnpike coming out of North Carolina going back to Ohio, fully loaded with 44,000 pounds in the box on my truck.
The best I ever had was I was running from Dallas to Topeka, Kansas. And I burned 25 gallons of fuel. That's it.
Now I can attest. When I was driving,
You run those numbers, Joe, and tell me what they are.
When I was driving Volvo 860s at FedEx. Now, granted, FedEx is a very light carrier, but I only had to fill up one time between Kernersville, North Carolina, and Rialto, California. And we filled up at the halfway mark on 40 at Amarillo, Texas, at a pilot. So,
That
from
pilot's
my
gross.
experience, the 860s get really, really good gas mileage or fuel mileage.
And they're the most comfortable truck on the road.
I will not argue that. I miss my Volvo.
I don't know. I miss my Peterbilt I had, that 579. All day long, 44,000, I'd get 8.5 miles to the gallon with that PACCAR motor. But
I haven't
me
been
and
in
the
very
PACCAR,
good 579, but the few that I have been in were very nice.
yeah, they're like driving giant, comfy, fluffy Tupperware boxes, basically. And but me and that MX-13 motor, we have a love-hate relationship because it's all. I mean, PACCAR, everything is all proprietary. You can't talk to it unless you pay for their technology. So I'm not a big PACCAR motor fan just because of how inclusive it is. I'm more of a Cummins guy because they're easy to work on. They're real forgiving.
I am
And
too.
anybody can perform and you can talk, and they just pull really good. So yeah, I get less fuel economy having a Cummins than a PACCAR MX-13 motor, but I mean, it all works out in the end.
The fact that you get to work on your own truck or that particular engine and have access to the computer and know what it needs instead of taking it to a dealership or a shop and having them hook their computer up to it, I think that offsets, or I think that equalizes the price difference. Or
Here's the other
that
thing that Cummins
equalizes
will
the
do.
MPG.
If you go to there's a Cummins website that you can go to, and you can type in the VIN number on your truck. You can do this up to 3 times for free. You'll get the entire service manual for that engine and drive for that motor. Everything attached to that motor you get the specs, you get the torque specs, the how-to, the tear down, the and even the time it calls for to do the job, and it
Sounds
has
like
a
a
step by
factory
step
service manual.
walkthrough. That's exactly what it is. Cummins will give you the service manual for your engine for free.
That's awesome. I love my
Yeah,
service manual.
I do too. Where you going? Are you tired of being? Oh, you're gonna go back and don't you lay on fatty cake back there? Don't you do it? Don't you tell me no.
Tight.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm a big Cummins fan just because they're easy to work on. They're just parts are everywhere, and I've been relatively lucky. I mean, I've had some delays on parts, but normally I've been able to source my parts and get them to me within a couple of days of ordering them. So,
Can't argue with that.
yep. Like I was scared to death the other day when I broke down, and my AC compressor clutch went out, which luckily it stopped engaging and didn't lock engaged, and the didn't lock the pulley. The pulley was still working. The clutch just wasn't engaging on it. So I was actually able to get it somewhere to get it fixed. But yeah, I pulled up, told him what I needed. I was pulled in. 2 hours later, I was out, and it only cost me $1,000, and I had to go buy a donut to sit on for that one because I could have done that whole job myself if I was home. Anyway. Well, do y'all have anything else further you want to add to this? Hunter, you've been awfully quiet. I've been more than willing to give you the floor. You just don't seem to want to talk tonight.
I don't have a lot to talk about, really.
Well,
I think we
I'll
can
help. I'll join.
conclude by saying leasing or buying your own truck is still something that can be doable today if you've done your homework and if you can find. I think we can all agree none of us would tell anybody to go get their own authority to run spot market right now.
Nope.
I think the thing to do is to get on with a company that has good available freight that is also offering fuel surcharge.
Yeah. So,
But that could change by, the next 3 days, depending on how these gas prices keep going up.
so I mean, yeah. Somebody right out of trucking school asked to buy a truck? Absolutely not. Go be a company guy for at least 2 to 3 years, minimum.
Yeah.
Stack your cash away. You got to run your truck.
Are there people who have done it and been successful? Yes. But I guarantee you those people spent a lot of time doing a lot of research.
Yeah, they're like a fifth generation truck driver.
Yeah, you cannot beat experience.
The other thing is, if you're going to do it, you need to learn how to work on your own stuff. You need to know how to do basic stuff. Lights, oil changes, brakes. Brakes not really. That's kind of... that depends on how much room you have and how much equipment you got. But you need to be able to know how to, do airlines or, a little electrical work, how to diagnose things. Like it helps you and is going to save you so much money to be more mechanically inclined and to do your PMs in your freaking driveway than pay somebody to do it. It's going to help a lot.
On that topic, though, you need to remember that if you get a brand new truck, especially something like a Volvo, you might know how to do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can
because
you'll lose your warranty.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've never bought a brand new vehicle in my life ever. Everything I have bought has always been used, and I have always worked on my own stuff because I was too poor to pay somebody to do it. So, I've been turning wrenches with my dad since I was old enough to hold a wrench in my hand. Okay, hey, we
You
got
want to know
somebody.
the best?
Hold on. What is the best CDL trucking school to go to? Um,
That's pretty much a loaded question.
okay, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna say it. The best trucking school you can go to is going to be your local community college if you have the ability to pay for it, get a loan for it, or have benefits from the military that, yes, they do pay for your trucking school. Also, you can get through your local workforce place or Workforce One or whatever it is. They have free CDL programs also at the local community college. You're going to get a better um, structured class. It's going to take longer, but you're going to learn more and you're going to be better equipped and you're not going to be bound to a carrier for a year. Now, as far as a
I would
carrier,
never take that route.
what's
The
that?
I would never take that route going on with a mega carrier to go through trucking school. People need to realize when you sign that contract for at least a year to pay them back for them taking you to trucking school, you will not make any money. Period.
That's when I
It's,
made the best money at Prime.
I didn't.
After that year, it went to crap, and that's when I left. I gave
let's
them 2
see.
years actually.
Well, hold
I was
on.
making like 20 to 30 some cent a mile at Prime, and I already had experience.
So he says he's looking to go to a company. I don't have money to pay for it. Okay.
Prime Inc.
I got a solution. I got a
Well,
solution.
he wants to know what we think about CFI. I don't know anything about CFI. I never did
Neither
business
do
with
I.
it or looked into it.
What is CFI?
It's a trucking company, I guess.
I got a solution.
Okay.
Here's how I got into trucking school. Now I'm out of North Carolina, and I assume that every state offers the same thing. North Carolina has something implemented called NC Works. It's basically, I went in there, I had to do like a legitimacy test or something, make sure I knew how to read and count.
Yeah,
I got well
that's
enough
how
to be, I got
Workforce
well
One
enough.
in Indiana is just like that.
What?
I know what you're talking about. I said Workforce One in Indiana is exactly like that.
Right.
New
I
Hampshire
scored
just
well
has a New
enough in that
Hampshire
test.
Employment Agency.
I heard I scored well enough on that test to be approved for the state of North Carolina to pay for me to go to truck driving school. So, and I didn't have to pay nothing back. I didn't have to pay nothing up front. That was really, really good. As
Right.
far when it comes to starting with a company, signing a contract, now here's what's funny. Both of y'all work at USA Truck. When I first wanted to get my CDL, I actually signed up through USA Truck for them to pay for me to go to CDL school. And the first day I got in a wreck leaving a restaurant trying to go back to the school during lunch
Right.
break. And luckily everybody just forgave everything and I didn't owe nobody nothing back or nothing. But
All right. So, well, hold on here. Mr. Hunter, he says he's hearing good things about Prime. Will you give us the spiel of how the truck driving school at Prime is? I think did both since you actually went through it while we still have him on here before he bounces out of here.
All right, so at Prime, you're going to have to go through this. It's through a job interview. The whole thing is a job interview. The whole time you're there, everything. At any time, they can send you home. If they send you home, you don't owe a dime.
all right, say what you said at the beginning because it was muffled.
The thing with Prime is the whole thing is a job interview. When you from when they tell you you've been accepted for their whole schooling, when you get on the bus, you get to Prime. First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna go take your DOT physical, do your drug test. They do it all at their little hotel or the Millennium Building, which is their headquarters.
I remember that.
If you happen to be a big guy like me, you'll have to go take a sleep study. It sucks. I'm sorry.
So how does that? Okay, so what is the actual training like once you get into that school?
Well, first you go on the road with a trainer for can be a minimum of 2 weeks, and there's really no
Okay,
time limit.
we're talking the CDL school. What is the curriculum they teach you at the
Yeah,
CDL school?
it's the same thing you can read in any book.
So
Okay, what about
basically,
their
the
back?
question
What
is,
about their
when you arrive and you go through your drug test and your agility test and all that other stuff, what is the process like after that? Like when they're
right?
teaching you how to back up and stuff like that?
Do they teach you 90s? Do they teach you 45s? Do they teach you offset parallel? Like, what do they teach you?
They're supposed to teach you all of that. Now, whether they do or not, that's up to the trainer. You can end up with a good trainer, you can end up with a bad trainer. My trainer was in the middle, he just didn't have any socialization skills. Yeah, it was fun. It doesn't always end up that way, though. Some of them are really good. And once you go to take basically everything that you're learning in the first portion of it, which they call PSD, Prime Student Driver, is how the bare basics of the job and what you will need to pass your driving test and your backing test. Beyond that, they're not going to teach you anything. They're going to get it so you got your pre-trip down, everything.
So, okay. He wants to know if I went to a CDL at a local school. Okay, the reason I say to do it that way is because of the experience that I had contracting to a carrier. I contracted with Pam Transport way back to get my CDL with them. I didn't realize at that point in time, one, because I was uneducated, and two, because I didn't do the research. I was in a panic trying to find a job, and this is what I chose to do at the time. I didn't realize that my military benefits that I had from being in the Army would have paid for a CDL school, and I didn't know that my state offered would have offered to pay for my CDL training at a school, um, be, because of the programs they have. I didn't know about those things, so I ended up contracting to a carrier, and I was there maybe 6 months. I barely made any money. They put me out OTR at 39 cents a mile. I only maybe got like 1,200 to 1,500 miles a week, scraping by with next to no money. They put me on a dedicated lane, and at best, I would make $900 a week. And then the kicker of everything was we had a blizzard come through that year, and the trucks they have, because of their idle parameters, wouldn't idle below certain temperatures. But the heat sensors for that are in the mirrors, and when you're parked between two trucks idling, it's going to read even though it's below freezing outside. And at that point in time, it was like negative 20 degrees with the wind chill. But between the two trucks idling, with the temperature sensors being on the mirrors and everybody having grass burners, all the ambient exhaust would come up and hit that sensor, and it would make the truck read that it was like 37 to 38 degrees outside, and the truck wouldn't idle. And with a wind chill that bad, these little S-bar heaters won't keep up and keep you warm. And they wouldn't. Their answer was go buy blankets, and that was not. No, I broke my contract, paid them off out of my own pocket, and left. That's why I say if you're going to get a contract with a carrier, be very mindful with who you're doing it with and who you're going to get in bed with, because that year is either going to be a really good year or it's going to be a really, really bad year. There's not very many in between. So
It's been probably like 4 or 5 years since I ran for Prime. But I had a very bad experience at Prime. But when I went to Prime, I never saw a $500 paycheck. But that was a long time ago, and I was I still had to go through the trainer process, even though I had a little bit of experience. But I was on a dedicated route in Onley, Illinois, at Walmart.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, that I don't know if
So,
that's why my paychecks were so low, but me personally, my situation was different than what everybody else's is. So for me, I had a bad experience. If you like where you're working and it's working out for you, you're seeing good money, they're respecting you, stay.
okay, so he says Lone Wolf. The only problem he has that he hates about Prime is their TNT phase, because while you're driving the train, or I'm sorry, while you're driving, the trainer is sleeping in the back. That's normal practice, no matter what carrier you're at.
Yeah, just about
Um,
everybody's going to do that.
yeah, everybody is.
There's a reason.
It's team training.
Yeah,
Um,
it's teaching you to be able to do the job on your own at that point.
Yeah. So, like to recap what I said earlier, when I went through CDL school, my second week, I tested out, had my CDL. The following week, which was the third week in a row, I was on a trainer's truck. I was on his truck for 2 weeks and then was solo. And like I said, I had prior experience working with these things. So, he stayed up with me one day to see how I was doing. And then after that, he was like, well, you're good enough. I'm sleeping in the back. If you get lost or take the wrong exit, wake me up. And that was all it was. That's how we ran the whole time.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much any company that anybody goes to, if you're going through a training process, uh, typically, if you're like brand spanking new, no experience whatsoever, they'll typically stay up with you after your training has been done and you've gone into a truck with a trainer. They'll stay up with you for about 2 or 3 hours and they'll talk to you, get to know you, answer any questions you got, and then they're going to go to bed because sometimes they might have to get up and drive. You might be running as a team operation, or some situation like that. But their main job is to make sure that you're comfortable because you're going to go back to the yard at some point and get your own truck, and you'll be solo. So you have to be able to do the critical thinking on your own. It's only when you do a major mess up, then that's when they're going to be like, wake me up. I'll help you figure this out, show you what needs to be done to figure it out. But you have to be comfortable driving by yourself because that's what you're going to end up doing. That's what they're there to do, is to train you to get to that point.
I got you.
It's not as bad as it sounds. Really, what it works down to is that's your point to prove it to yourself and the company. You deserve to be there.
Right.
You
Exactly.
learned. Okay, you got somebody in the back that can help you out if you screw up really bad. But guess what? It's your opportunity to prove that you learned what you do know, and you're willing to problem solve when you get yourself in a situation.
I got you.
If
Hey,
there's
by
one
the way,
thing that I can say real quick, don't ever be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah,
I don't care.
absolutely. Ask every
I don't
question you
care how
can.
little it is, how stupid it might sound. Ask questions.
By the way, here, shameless plug. Y'all in the chat, if you have any questions or anything you guys are seeking clarity on, go ahead and ask them. But if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button and maybe give us a subscribe. We do these live videos every couple of weeks, and we like having these round table discussions about stuff. And I know all three of us, well, me and Raw Trucking, New Hampshire Lone Wolf's just getting started, but me and Raw Trucking regularly put videos out. So consider subscribing to their channels too. So that way we can continue to give you guys the information that you guys are seeking. So, okay. Um, all right. Already hit the like and subscribe. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Um, that's awesome. So life with Kevin. I guess I'm not understanding. $1.18 of. Are you saying it was for they were having you run for 18 cents a mile, or $1.18 a mile? I guess I'm not understanding what you're saying. Um, but yeah, I mean, if they're only paying you 18 cents a mile, there ain't no way I'd be running there. That's terrible.
At Prime, when I got my own truck at Prime, I was between $600 to $900 a week take home.
Lucky, I never even saw that much.
I had a good dispatcher.
I will say this though, I do miss Prime's terminal in Missouri. That place.
Well, why wouldn't you? That place has everything.
So, he said he was getting paid $1.18 a mile there at CFI. So were you in a lease truck, or was that a company guy? Because $1.18 a mile, that's pretty high for a company guy. Maybe if you went out of trucking school to a lease. Yeah, as a company driver, $1.18 a mile is great. As a owner operator or a lease truck, that's no bueno for that's way too cheap.
That's what I'm making now, but I'm not leased. My situation is weird. I'm running 299 as a company.
All right, so can we talk about backing? Yeah, it's easy. Back up till you hit something. That's what Grandpa always said.
Don't be afraid to get out and look.
Yes.
As many times as you need. Whoever is sitting there blaring their horn at you, they can wait.
Yep. Turn that CB off. Turn the radio off. Roll down both windows. Flip the whole world to bird. Do what you got to do to complete that backing maneuver safely. I do not care whatsoever how many times you have to get out and look. And if you need help, ask somebody. There ain't a single one of us, especially having our own trucks, when it comes to someone backing in, if you come wake me up in the middle of the night for me to help you, I would much rather you do that than risk dinging my truck. I have a dent in the side of my truck from someone who did that the opposite of what I just said. I would rather you wake me up in the middle of the night and to ask for my help to get you in there than to risk you hitting something, because not only is it dangerous for us, but it's also dangerous for you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't ever hit that second gear for reverse. That high reverse. Nah, you don't need that.
Do it slow.
Yeah,
left is right,
the
right
best
is left.
thing you can do when trying to back, if you're on home time and you know where a big open parking lot is, go buy you a couple of cones or something, and go into personal conveyance and go out to that big parking lot and practice your backing skills.
Mm-hmm.
When you're at a truck stop doing a 30-minute break, go into personal conveyance, practice your backing skills where all the other trucks are not parked.
That's going to be the big thing with backing, is just to calm down, breathe, remember what you were taught, and to execute it. Watch the trailer, how it moves. You turn one way, watch where the trailer goes. If it doesn't go the way you want, correct it or stop and pull back up. It's left goes right, right goes left. And it's just slow, steady, and just practice. That's the biggest thing.
And I'll say
when you're
this, I've been driving for 6 years. I still get out and look sometimes when I need to. Don't be ashamed that you have to get out and go check something. You would rather check it first than hit somebody's truck. And for one, they're going to go off on you. And then your company's going to go off on you. then it's probably going to go on your record for a little while. You might get ticketed. Just get out and look.
I got one for you. When I first got my truck, I was out in Colorado somewhere. I can't remember where off the top of my head. The truck stop, the only parking spot that you get into was a blindside back. And I had hardly ever done blindside backs before. Everybody was like, you're never going to make it in there. We wouldn't make it in there. And these are guys that have been doing this for 20, 30 years. I said, I'll take your bet. Took me 45 minutes. I took my time. I got out and looked many times. I was in that spot perfectly. And they all watched and said, how did you even do that? How long have you been driving? I said, 3 or 4 weeks on my own.
I got you. So, all right. We got a question for you, Mr. Raw Trucking. What company do you work at, and are you an owner-operator?
Before I answer that question, I'll let him know also. There's a really good YouTube channel about backing. It's a truck driver who posts on it, and I will try and find that and post that in the comments later for him to find and look at. As far as the company that I work for a bunch of Russians out of Illinois, and I'm getting to where I hate it.
Oh,
My
hold on.
situation is,
Wait. Whoa. You're forgetting the most important thing. You are a misclassified employee.
if anybody wants to know about taxes,
No.
go look on my
Legally,
channel.
it's wrong. Go to his
I
channel.
never said you was wrong. You are completely 100% correct. I did this for the money benefit.
So Uncle Sam shoves that green weenie in your mouth.
I'll do
Anyway,
a lot.
so
Anyway, my
Sticky
company
Buns.
that I work for
Sorry.
is called MMM Freight Court, and I am not an owner operator. I'm classified as a private contractor as 1099, but I operate as a company employee. Like I said, is it legal? Probably not. Is it against tax code? Yeah, probably. But if you wanna know some stuff about taxes, go look on my YouTube channel. As far as all that goes, the only reason I came here was for the 1099 money benefit, because after leaving USA Truck, I needed money bad. So I bit the bullet and did what I had to do. I don't recommend it.
Hold on. Sticky Buns is back. He's got jokes. He says, Hunter, you got the advantage of that with the Volvo having them massive side windows.
Yeah.
And Sticky Buns also says there, Mr. Raw Trucking, that you've changed your channel name because that's how you've been taking it lately. I do believe that is a Kelso burn right there, my friend.
But he's not wrong, though. He's not wrong.
Somebody get him some petroleum jelly for that.
I got to give it to Mr. Sticky Buns over there, because he's not wrong.
Man, you're going to need to start nomming on them aloe vera plants to come back from that, buddy. Whew.
What I'm going to do is when you're done with your truck, I'll just lease purchase it from you.
No, I wouldn't do that to you, man. I'm going to run the balls off this thing.
No, you're not. You're going to let me get behind it because I'm broke and I need some money.
I tell you what, we'll talk about this offline. I'd much rather just work out. I'd rather just work out a cash dealer, make you a legitimate employee. I'll make an honest woman out of you. How about that one?
All right, but if you're gonna make me a legitimate employee, we're gonna go by my tax standards.
Okay.
Just so you know, just so you know, his uniform for you is a dress. Sorry.
Yeah, like the one for what was that girl's name from Seven Deadly Sins that worked at the Boar Hat? What was her name? Dang it. Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins. Yeah, we'll dress you up just like her, and then
If
we'll
that's
call
what
you.
tickles your fancy.
And we'll call you, and we'll put it on the side of the truck. We'll call you the classy lady.
I want to say something, but I don't want to get you demonetized. You better watch your mouth there, son.
You're the one over there with the
He
pretty
goes,
mouth,
he'll
Brandon.
be
Don't
an
worry.
IC of an IC. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. By the time this, I don't know. By the time he would even remotely want to get into this truck, I would hope I'd be on my own and having my own authority and be a carrier at that point. But we'll see. So, man, I could be like.
I might have to get off here. My Bluetooth is about to die.
Oh. All right. Well, we'll see you in the chat then, buddy.
Ain't gonna be too much longer. I'm gonna go in and get me something to eat.
Yep. Enjoy your red room tonight. He's gone. So, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was going to carry on this long. I'm glad I didn't use my other camera. It had done died already. But Johnny says, thank you guys for the help. Hey, buddy, if there's anything else you want to know about or anything, I mean, you can always shoot me an email, drop it in the comment section, whatever, buddy. I mean, that's the
Same goes
thing.
for me, Sonny. I always check the comments.
I mean, that's what we're here for is that's the community I'm trying to build. It's not just owner operators or ICs or lease guys. Company guys are welcome too. A lot of my stuff is tailored to the independent contractor side of things because that's where I'm at in my particular area in life right now. But I still haven't forgotten where I came from and what it was like to be a company guy. And the thing with this industry so far is there's not a lot of teamwork and it's a lot of dog eat dog right now. And I want to build a place.
The camaraderie has gone.
Yes. I want to build a place where we do have camaraderie, where we are working together, where you can come here and ask questions and there is no such thing as a stupid question. I might blow you a little smoke every once in a while, but that's my goal.
It builds character.
Let's see. How often do you three do live shows? Well, I try to do a live show a couple times a month. This was our first where it was all three of us. So this is going to be, I would like to believe this is something as long as I can coordinate with everybody where we can get more in here. And, in the future, I would like to be able to build relationships with other people in this industry and bring them in so they can speak their piece and their mind. And so so we have a wealth of knowledge for people to be able to draw on.
I've actually never done a live show, but I think you have to have a certain amount of subscribers to do a live show.
Nope. To do it on a mobile device, yes. To do it off how I'm doing it with a computer, nah, you can do it with one.
Okay, well, with that being said, I have to reach a certain amount of subscribers because all I have is a phone. I'm not big balling over there like old Tubby, so.
Hey.
Hey, you said you was going to put me in a dress. You sit back. Thank you.
That's Captain Tubbs to you. Thank you very much. See, I actually like all of you guys and on here. Fun getting knowledge from you guys. I mean, dude, awesome. Welcome aboard and welcome to the community. So, I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, I don't know everything. I'm never going to lie to you and tell you that I do. I have a lot of experience with a lot of different things, but I don't know everything. So, but
I'm gonna have to call it quits. I need to go and get something to eat and call the wife. But it's been fun. I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate everybody's questions. And if you don't mind, come over to my channel. Give me some topics to talk about. I try and be active, but I'm not a big thinker. I'm just a big doer.
Yep, go give the classy lady some love. He's got to go.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But everybody, drive safe out there. Keep it between the mustard and the lettuce. As far as that goes, everybody have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Later, bud.
So, yep. All right. So, um, before we close everything off here, we've been at this for a little while now. Is there any other topics you want me to cover real quick before we shut this down? I know it's getting late, and I got like I got 11 o'clock where I'm at, so I don't know where it's at where you guys are. But um, oh no, they haven't. They haven't fixed the yard there in South Holland. Well, that sucks, buddy. I am so sorry to hear that. At least it's gated though, and you don't have to worry about people breaking into your stuff. So that's good. So, um, any last questions, comments, concerns, gripes, complaints, improvements? Anything you guys would like to see in the future here? I'm more than willing to take any recommendations or anything you guys would like to hear. Okay, nope, you're good. Answered all your questions. Okay, well, hey, buddy. Um, I'm glad I could help. I don't know if you could call it good help or not, but it still helped. Um, the outgate is missing. Who took out the outgate? That is the one yard that we have there that it's straight in and not and easy to get in or easy to get out. How in the world do they break the outgate? I mean, if you bite your tongue any harder there, guy, you're going to what's the word? You're going to bite it off. Although that might be good. You do talk a lot. I don't know. Be careful. Get some ice. If you're going to chew on your tongue, get some ice. It'll help. Nobody likes a swollen tongue. But yeah, so it's a pretty good live stream. Um, we're gonna have to decline. I don't know. I'm a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I would have to say Michelangelo's my favorite. Nunchucks and pizza. Come on with it. Let's let's tell the truth here. So you enjoyed the stream? Good deal. Yeah, I know. It got quiet all of a sudden. Yeah, everybody else is using their phones on the stream, and I have an actual microphone that I use, and it drowns out a lot of the noise, and then I have the actual stream playing through in my AirPods, so it's pretty quiet on my end of things when there's nobody else around. It takes all that ambient noise out, minus my APU running in the back. So, which that thing, I'm about fit to be tied with that APU at this point in time. I'd like to give it a fair share of my mind, that's for sure. But I am about out of topics to cover at this point in time. You like the lights in the back? I just put them up today for the purpose of this stream. Actually, I picked them up a couple weeks ago. They were $20 at the truck stop, and they plug in via USB to my power strip I have over here, and they go through and they change colors and all that. Apparently, it scared my dog. All that stuff. So, let's see. You don't really hear the APU, dude. I hear it. It's not as loud as my truck idling, and So with your truck being a tel truck, do you have like an EPU or the opti idle or idle management or anything in that truck? Or is it just straight you idle the truck when it's hot or cold? Because I've got an APU for AC, and then I've got a bunk heater back here for when it's hot. Or sorry, bunk heater for when it's cold. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of companies will let you put up like little lights and stuff like this. They don't mind them. They're kind of nice. I mean, it was $20, so they're not bad. I like green. I like lime green. That's my thing. But yeah, most places don't mind as long as you're able to take them down when you move truck or whatever. I mean, this is my truck, so I can do with it whatever I want. So it is what it is. So but yeah, as far as wishing you had an APU, buddy, let's see. So when I got this truck, the APU on it, in the first year, we put a brand new AC compressor, new alternator, fuel pump, inline fuel filter. What else? The only thing that's OE left on this thing is the actual starter. That's the only thing OE left on that right now since I bought this truck, or since I bought this truck with the APU on it. I have spent more time working on that truck, on that APU, than I have actually running it. But I've got most of the kinks worked out. Sometimes it gets temperamental, but it's only nice when it works. So has Opti idle, but doesn't work for whatever reason, and I have a bunk heater. Do you have any check engine codes on your dash that would cause the Opti idle system not to work? I know in the Peterbilt that I had that had my auto start on it, it wouldn't work if I had any check engine lights or any codes like that on the dash. But it should still be under warranty if you just got the truck and it's got 84,000 miles on it. That should still be under warranty. Reach out to New Hampshire Lone Wolf on that. He's got a similar issue with his Idle Smart inside of his Volvo that he's been dealing with, and he might be able to offer you some guidance off of, just drop a comment on one of his videos, and he should be able to offer you some guidance on how to get that whole Opti Idle stuff squared away. He's more familiar with it than I am. How many days do you run before taking home time? So, when I was a company guy, and I was OTR, it was always the standard practice. You get 1 day out for 1 week of driving. So if you're out for 3 weeks, you get 3 days at home. You're out for 5 weeks, you get 5 days at home. If home time is something you're dead set on wanting because you got a wife or kids or just things you just want to be home, dedicated lanes that run dedicated freight that only work for certain customers are a very good way to be able to maximize your home time and still make a paycheck. On those, most dedicated lanes have you home on the weekends, or you can come in and try to find a regional position, and regional guys typically get home about every weekend. For me, I run as much as I need to, depending on how much money I need to make and what bills I have coming up. It's my truck. I go home when I want. So if I book loads and it lines up and I'm home every weekend, cool. If not, like right now, I've been out for, my dad just passed away at the beginning of the month. So I've been out now for about 3 weeks to help recoup some of the costs and from all of that. So this isn't the normal amount of time I stay out. I usually go home about every 2 weeks, and I take about 4 or 5 days off every 2 weeks. So let's see. No, nothing. It beeps, then doesn't start. Okay. So for the Opti Idle, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to give you bad guidance on that. I'm not real familiar with it. So like I said, I would reach out with New Hampshire Lone Wolf. He's got that kind of a setup on his truck, and he might be able to offer you some guidance, or at least call Tel and get with their maintenance department, see if they can figure it out. Johnny, you're single, so that sounds good. I can save up on my days off. Yeah, you most definitely. You can most definitely save up your days off for that. So, it's something, it's really nice to just get away from the truck and take a whole week off. Now remember that when you're at home, you don't get paid. If the wheels aren't moving, you're not making a paycheck. So it's not always beneficial to take a whole week off at once. That's not always good. Thank you for that, buddy. Yeah, it sucks. My dad was Superman to me, and he taught me everything I know about working on cars and trucks and everything. So it was really, 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 really hard for the family. But we'll see him again. We will. So it'll be okay. But yeah, okay, good. You'll reach out to him. Awesome. So he'll most definitely be able to get you the guidance. At least I would hope. If not, if he can't give you an answer since he knows that, just get with Tel. I would imagine it's still under warranty. I don't know how long you've had that truck. So, but yeah, it's that would be very annoying to have to idle my truck. I know the Cummins motors like mine. My truck hates idling. And these Cummins motors are very bad for carbon packing. They do not like being idled at all because of how the exhaust gases recirculate back into the motor. All of that unburnt everything gets in there, and it causes carbon packing and carbon buildup inside the motors, and it's really, really hard on them. So these modern day engines are not designed to idle. They're designed to just run and be left alone. It causes a lot of EGR issues. It can cause over extended periods of idle time can cause EGR issues. It can cause DPF issues. It can cause the DPF filter to clog up prematurely. So I would recommend getting that sorted away and fixed as quick as possible. And if you've only had it since March, it should only be, I would imagine that somehow, some way, I mean, you can get that fixed. I'm sure that's not something that you should have to suffer through. Like, plus the cost of fuel is way too much for, to be paying to be idling our trucks. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Don't get me wrong. Like, if my APU goes down, I'm going to idle my truck till I get back home and, get it worked on. I'm not, if it's 85 degrees outside, it's 120, 130 degrees inside here, because these things are just big ovens. So I don't blame you for doing what you got to do. Here it's relatively cool. It's going to be like 65, 70 tonight. So I'll probably even kick the APU off and open the windows. So, but if there's not anything else that anybody wants touched on, or anything else, any further guidance that you guys need, or any questions you have, or any topics you just want to talk about, if you just want to BS or whatever, we're going to cut this short. I'll give it a couple more minutes for some comments. We're at about pushing 2.5 hours here, longest live stream I've done yet. But I very, very much appreciate you guys coming in and spending time with us tonight, and for the subscriptions and the likes buttons. I very much appreciate all your time that you've spent with us tonight. So with that being said, I'll give it about 2 more minutes or about 2 to 5 more minutes for, any last comments to come through, or anything you guys want to touch base on. And if nothing else comes through, we'll go ahead and call it a night. You're good. Thanks for answering questions. I'm glad you would stop by, and we got to get acquainted. So thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us for the time that you did. I very much appreciate it. At least till the wife called. I got you. Hey, buddy, I get it, man. I know how that is. Your wife calls, man. That's it. You got to drop everything and go. I know exactly how that is. Good news. The good thing is I like this wife. She's pretty good. She's a pretty good one. So I'm very blessed. But, man, where in the world did you get the picture of that clown? That is just killer. I don't know. I don't know. I like the way it looks. You're doing, Tank? Oh, he was sleeping apparently. So. But all right, everybody. Well, that is going to conclude our live stream for this evening. So thank y'all for swinging by. Thank y'all for hanging out. Until then, oh, there you go. Got my answer. Found it online somewhere a long time ago. Well, good deal. Keep at it. It's good. So, all right, y'all. So we will see you on the next live feed. We did just drop a video yesterday. If y'all want to go check it out, we about the AC going out on the truck, and we did a weekly recap of what I made working with the carrier that I'm leased onto, and I go and crunch all the numbers. So if that's something you guys are interested in, go check it out. Until then, I'll see y'all on the next live feed. I love y'all, and keep her between the lines. We'll see y'all on the way home.